Hey, a week from today, we'll be down in Washington, D.C.
Yes, we will.
Because at high noon, Donald Trump becomes our 45th president.
I'm thrilled by it. I'm going to lend my support to give him 2 thumbs up, give Trump a chance. And, you know, we're heading on an exciting adventure. And where this particular roller coaster stops, nobody knows.
It's impossible to miss the fact that systematically, since he won this election, people are trying to knock him down. From the Russian hack to the recount to the fake news and now the investigation of James Comey. Remember the indictment on the electoral system that Donald Trump dominated? Over and over again, I've seen something I've never seen in my life. The attempt to discredit a president-elect.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with your big picture. But take James Comey specifically, I have to disagree. James Comey last week admitted that he had that very salacious, XXX rated, fake, fictional sex tape, etc., on Donald Trump in Moscow.
Sex tape.
The dossier.
The dossier.
The dirty dossier.
And he didn't release it. Why? Because before the election, because he didn't want to interfere with the election. It was not properly vetted, obviously. It was not corroborated.
Why would
okay. So he did not release it. And yet, the Anthony Weiner computer story with the stunning impact that it had 8 days before the election.
You equate the two?
Also, I absolutely do.
A piece of fiction from Russia?
I believe that James Comey will be lucky, Brian, to hold on to his job. I think that what he did was absolutely unprofessional, and the Inspector General of the Department of Justice is currently investigating whether or not he unduly interfered with the election. That has nothing to do with the legitimacy of the 45th president. Donald Trump didn't do anything. Donald Trump was duly elected. He is our president.
But do you know what this is his attempt to do? There are people that think he didn't deserve to win, blame James Comey. So what happens? I'm going to have an investigation of James Comey, fortifying people who believe that he didn't win legitimately.
Let them blame Bigfoot. Let them blame the eclipse. I don't care. Donald Trump is the president.
We agree with that, but it wears down on credibility of a candidate.
The FBI has never been in more disrepute than right now because of the actions of James Comey. One size fits all. If you don't release the Donald Trump dossier because it's not properly vetted, then you don't release the story of the Anthony Weiner email. Both of which are equally false.
They're not upset with James Comey about this dossier. They're still saying that they were happy with him when he didn't indict Hillary Clinton over the summer.
Democrats were, yes.
Then a few days before the
Republicans
election,
were furious.
Before the election, he's going to reopen the case. Then he closes the case, and now Dems are mad because they're saying she lost the election because of him. What about taking responsibility for the fact that she had the server? She made the decision to do that, Geraldo.
Well, Ainsley, you always have to walk in the other guy's shoes. What if 8 days before the election, coming just 3 weeks after the Access Hollywood tape, you heard about this Russian dossier with all of those salacious allegations that are absolutely false?
That's fake news.
But how do you know what it
is? The server's real. That story's fake. There's a huge difference.
It is not, Brian. It is not
a real story.
How is it different when he releases 8 days before? I found new emails.
He did.
He did not. They were copies of the old emails. Why didn't he vet it first?
They were not handed over.
Why didn't he say, here's what you do? Here's what you do. Let's say 8 days before he gets the Anthony Weiner laptop and he checks. Now let him check it out. Check those emails. Are they new? Do they add anything? Oh, I come to the conclusion they're not new. They're all copies. Then that's the only announcement he makes. I found another computer. I checked it out. It's all old emails. Has nothing to do with Hillary Clinton. You know, and that's it. Why don't you just do that?
Great question, and that's what the
I'm so glad you agree.
No, I mean, that's a good question.
So hard to be three against one.
Why did he do that? That's a great question. Regarding the dossier, everybody and their brother in Washington and in New York in newsrooms had it. They never ran with it because it's not true. They could not verify it.
I agree.
So that's a lot different than a private server, which is real. You were holding a
and that was a dumb thing for her.
Some of the stories about me that I've seen over the years. I mean, people write stuff, and now with the internet, there's going to be some percentage of the people, and because tens of millions see everything, that believes it, and it goes and it becomes a polluting cancer.
You're right about that. Let me ask you this real quickly. And Donald Trump tweeted about this whole thing earlier today, and we read it earlier. But how much harder has BuzzFeed made every reporter's job?
If they release everything all the time, what are you going to do? See, the problem is that it's like
it was a dumb thing for them to do.
You know when you give up candy because either for Lent or for a diet or something like that, and someone puts a big bowl of candy in front of you,
it's
very hard to ignore it.
But when you're a journalist, you try to verify it. You want to make sure that it's right.
We are journalists. The people who are on the internet are not journalists. They are sensationalists who want to get hits and mentions and retweets. They don't care. You get it. You put it out there, and consequences be damned. I think we live in a world now that is so different than any world we've ever had because of the immense power of the internet and the ability to wreck somebody, and then after it's all over, you say, I'm sorry, it didn't happen, and the consequences are forever.
Stuck on the internet.
We should go to another planet and start all over.
Well, there you go.
Let's do that. Should we just do that?
And keep in mind, this dossier of apparently made-up stuff was put together by a guy who was paid by Donald Trump's opponents. Is former
Christopher Steele.
There he is right there.
He has now gone into hiding because he fears for his life.
I love Trump at the, when he was reacting at the press conference to the dossier and talking about every room, every hotel room in Russia is bugged, and everybody knows that.
There are cameras everywhere.
Which is true.
It is true.
Which is true. And he would never touch anybody because he's a germaphobe. I love that because you remember prior to his announcing, remember he wouldn't shake hands?
Never would shake hands.
I mean, even me, he loves me. He knows me for 40 years. Hey, come on, Dollar, come on.
Well, he has overcome that. Now he's shaking everybody's hand.
And now he shakes everybody's hand.
All right, speaking of shaking hands, we had Mike Pompeo, the four-term congressman from Kansas.
He did well yesterday.
He did well. He was in the hot seat. Donald Trump would like him to be the CIA guy. Then you got General Mattis. He did a great job as well.
Excellent.
For Department of Defense.
And got the waiver.
He did get the waiver overwhelmingly. It looks like both of them, along with Ben Carson, will be approved.
I think that, first of all, in terms of James Mattis, what a wonderful guy for SecDef. This is the guy. I love this guy. Everybody in uniform loves this guy. A real fighting general, a man with real substance and character. And Pompeo's a partisan. And he's a hard right guy, but you have to like him because he's sincere and he's consistent. And I think that he's going to do
it. I just worry. I'm not worried, but I'm very interested to see how Flynn, Kelly, and Mattis get along, the advice they give, and how Donald Trump takes it.
Well, that's very interesting you say that because look at Kelly, Homeland Security, saying that the wall's not going to be, that's not going to do it.
Alone.
The wall alone is not going to do it. And that's, Donald Trump has to come to that realization that these guys, and also waterboarding out, none of them are going to violate the wall with Pompeo, God bless him. I think that what Trump has done with these nominees is really pick a great bunch, and not all sycophants, not all repeaters of Trumpisms, and I think it's going to serve him and the nation well. I like this cabinet. I would give you, I take them all right now. Nice balance. Ben Carson, my goodness, what a wonderful choice. He'd make what a great example for young Americans. I think it's really good.
How about all these crazy, bizarre gotcha questions that have nothing to do with the agencies that they're going to be running?
Well, I don't think, I mean, my daughters are listening, and, so I've got to be careful, but I don't think that climate change is an urgent, immediate national security issue. I think that long term, it's really very vital that we deal with it. All you have to do is look at Beijing.
And that's what Tillerson said.
Look at the smog in Beijing, and Tillerson was so right on it. Look at the smog in Beijing. We know where this is heading. It's no good, but it's not like the North Koreans have a ICBM that could reach Seattle. It's not.
Climate change is a good question for the EPA guy, not for the guy who's going to run CIA. Right. Meanwhile, let's talk about from climate change to face change.
Face change.
What happened here? You had a beard last week.
Had a beard. I did O'Reilly Wednesday night. I looked at myself, and I was so.
Is this another one
first of all, it came in sort of white. So I bought this.
That's great.
I bought this just for men.
Yeah.
I bought this just for men. I'm making a confession here. This is very important.
This is fantastic.
So I put it on myself, and I didn't read the instructions. So then I went. I was doing something. I said, okay, I guess it's time to wash it off. And I said, oh, my God, I'm only supposed to leave it on for 3 minutes. And it was like 15 minutes later.
Oh, my goodness.
And it came out, and I went on O'Reilly, and I had this black thing in my face.
Blackbeard.
And it looked like a squirrel died on my chin.
Can I just say one thing, Geraldo?
Isabella called me. She said, Dad, the one that works here, my 24-year-old, Dad, you can't go on television again. Like, no one's listening to what you're saying. They're only looking at your chin.
Now people are going to think this is just for men. Maybe there's something just for men.
No, but look, this is for real. This is all.
What about this right here?
Oh, come on. I mean, what are we going to start going through people's hair now?
You weren't wearing a shirt. You weren't wearing a shirt. Shocker. And you use the same razors my dad uses.
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
Those are like you get like 12 in a pack.
It took me 12 of them to get the beard off. I get, and there was hurting, and I get a new one.
If there's anything you read the directions on, it's dye. I mean, you can't be winging it. What do you think? It's an IKEA...
I was totally winging it. I was totally winging it. And the funny thing is, so I walk out of the bathroom.
That's all funny. What are you talking about?
So I walk out. Erica's coming. She's rushed.
Your wife.
My wife. She's very busy. She's got a million charities and different things going on. She comes home. She said, and then you have to put this stuff in the car, and then we said, and she goes around. I said, honey, you notice anything, honey? What? Oh, the beer. Oh, yeah. It's like, were you looking at me?
You're so insecure.
Now you know how we feel.
I'm the most
When you go get your hair done, then you'll never pay attention.
Oh, you got to mention it. All right. Geraldo, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next Friday down in Washington.
Thursday and Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, good. We're going to see you in 3 days. It's going to be big
Thursday,
You
Friday, and
corrected us in the
Saturday.
beginning, you corrected us at the end.